On this episode of the Collector Car Podcast, what is the rarest Porsche being sold from the white collection? What is the weirdest Porsche accessory that's being offered for sale? Which Porsche model is up double digits for the last 12 months? Which Porsche model is down significantly in the last 12 months? And finally, what are the non-Porsche bargains you should watch out for at RM Sotheby's White Collection sale coming up on offer here shortly in December? Okay, the weirdest Porsche accessory that I've seen at the White Collection on offer from RM Sotheby's, one of them at least, are these Porsche Carrera GT wood ramps. I had no idea that these things even existed, much less that they were worth a significant amount of money. I believe the estimate on this was around $4,000 to $6,000, and this is just for the wood ramps that go with your Porsche Carrera GT. The next weirdest Porsche accessory I've seen from the White Collection is this Porsche 212 ski bob made by Arova. These things are pretty cool. I actually had the chance to transport one of these in my car, and you can actually put the sleds or the skis into the body of the ski bob. So pretty cool. You don't see these that often. They're pretty rare, but there's a lot of cool Porsche design stuff coming to the White Collection, including a ton of watches that are related to specific cool Porsche models. Another cool accessory on offer at the White Collection are these spark plugs and carburetor kit for 356 Porsches. You don't see these very often at all. This specifically is for a 350A 1500 GS Carrera. So pretty rare, pretty cool. You never see these, much less in the original box with the original cardboard. Okay, the first car I wanted to cover from the Porsche collection, the White Collection, coming up for offer with RM Sotheby's. This is 1977 Porsche Martini Championship Edition. Now this thing is really cool. It has the Martini stripes. The estimate is $40,000 to $60,000. This is on offer without reserve. Now, from a valuation perspective, number one condition without the Martini stripes, $28,000 plus 15% if it is a Martini edition. Now, these things are really interesting. Only one of 3,000 produced. From a valuation standpoint, they've gone up about 3.7% over the last 12 months. And this was created to celebrate Porsche's 1976 World Sports Car Championship victory and their partnership with Martini and Rossi. Now, this is a factory original police white paint over black and red interior, which is really, really cool. And this one has less than 25,000 miles on it. So very rare, very cool. Estimate again is $40,000 to $60,000. The next car from the White Collection for RM Sotheby's on offer December 1st and 2nd is this 1990 Porsche 944 S2 Cabriolet. Estimate is $40,000 to $60,000, offered without reserve. Now, the valuation on these, the number one condition, is just over $41,000, and they have been flat for the last year. Now, this is single ownership from new prior to joining the White Collection. Factory original Alpine white over black partial leather interior, showing just over 16,000 miles on the odometer. This is a rare cabriolet version of the 944 S2. Now, this thing has all of the accessories. Really, really cool car. Again, $40,000 to $60,000. RM Sotheby's, the White Collection, coming up December 1st and 2nd. The next Porsche is a 1976 Porsche 911 Turbo Carrera. Now, this is coming on offer at the White Collection December 1st and 2nd. Now, this estimate is $325,000 to $425,000, offered without reserve, as most of the cars are from the White Collection. From a valuation standpoint, number one condition is $300,000. Now, this is a pristine example. These have been flat for the last 12 months. Now, this one has numbers of matching engine and gearbox, and it has well-preserved condition, and it has just over 8,000 miles. Original paint, original interior. It's presented in its attractive colors of Grand Prix white over cinnamon leather. Almost said Cincinnati leather. Let's see. Factory equipped with desirable limited slip differential. First year for the storied US specification 930 Turbo. All right, for the next car, I'm going old school 1965 Porsche 356 C1600 SC Coupe. Now the estimate on this one is $150,000 to $200,000 offered without reserve. This might be quite a deal, as the valuation in number one condition is $229,000. Over the last 12 months, these have gone up 1.8%. Now this is an authentic factory-built Porsche 356 SC with numbers matching engine and gearbox, powered by its original 1.6-liter SC engine. Now let's see, it has the factory-correct finish of light ivory over black leatherette interior trim. Now it has a Porsche certificate of authenticity, and then it has all the fun stuff, the tools, jacks, spares, tires, all that kind of stuff. So again, the estimate is $150,000 to $200,000. The valuation in number one condition is $229,000, so this could be a nice little find at RM Sotheby's, the White Collection sale. All right, the next car on offer is the 1967 Porsche 911 S, but this is the soft window Targa. Now, the White Collection is known for having all white cars, but this one is actually off-white, almost looks beige. Technically, it's ivory. Now, the estimate on this one is $300,000 to $400,000 offered without reserve. Now, the valuation on these, number one condition, is $368,000, and they have been flat for the last 12 months, as most Porsches have. 0% increase or decrease. Now, this is a fully restored example of the ultra desirable soft window 911 S Targa. Personally, I'm not a huge fan, but that's just me. Now, this one does have its numbers matching engine and gearbox. All right, our next car, we're going quite a bit newer. Now, this is 996 generation. Now, we'll give you a heads up that this is the one that had the biggest loss from a valuation perspective over the last 12 months. This is a 2004 Porsche 911 GT2. Now, the estimate on this one is $350,000 to $450,000. Valuation in number one condition is $235,000. Pretty big gap there, but this one is practically brand new. And over the last 12 months, the valuations of these have gone down 6.7%. So, you know, one of our first cars here that's actually negative versus being flat. Now, this is one of only 303 996 generation GT2 examples delivered to the U.S. market. Single ownership prior to joining the White Collection, so you would be the third owner with less than 4,000 miles on it. Finished in factory original Carrera white over black leather interior. Benefits from Porsche's mid-model updates, including a potent 476 turbocharged flat six and Porsche ceramic composite brakes. Now, from a 996 generation, this is the most desirable Porsche that is available, followed closely by the GT3s. Now, the next car I am covering is one of my favorite Porsches of all time, also one of the most expensive, 1997 Porsche 911 Turbo S. Again, this one is in beautiful white. Estimate is $700,000 to $900,000. The valuation, number one condition, $675,000. Again, latest 12 months. These are flat. One of 183 examples produced for North America in 1997. Shows just over 5,000 original miles. Well-preserved, original condition, finished in its original glacier white over black all-leather trim with carbon fiber accents. Extensively optioned, including front sport seats, rear seat delete, painted wheels, and brake calipers. All-leather interior with deviating stitching and digital sound package with remote CD changer. So absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. The S's are definitely blue chip collectible from the 90s. There aren't many, but this is definitely one of them. All right, next I am staying with the 911s, but we're going a little bit older this time. Now, this is a big dog here, 1974 Porsche 911 Carrera RS 3.0. Now, I could not find valuations on the 3-liter version. The estimate on this one is $2.25 to $2.75 million, and from what I can tell, that is spot on. And based on some of the other RS 2.7-liter cars, these are flat for the last 12 months. So we have seen a flattening in the market. The valuation trends, if they're not flat, they are going down with a few exceptions, which will come up here shortly, specifically in the Porsche world. Now, this one is exceptionally rare, one of only 55 examples built to homologate the Carrera 3.0 RSR, originally used as a factory demonstration car with a fully documented history of 5 caretakers from new. Oh, this is cool. Formerly owned by Charles Stoddard, a noted Porsche dealer and foundational vintage Porsche parts supplier, which is still in existence right now. Charlie passed away about 4 years ago, and he apparently still has quite a collection in a garage outside of Cleveland. So I'm trying to get in there, but it hasn't happened yet. Now, this is arguably the best preserved RS 3-liter available, fitted with its numbers matching engine and gearbox, finished in correct Grand Prix white with striking gold lettering over a midnight leatherette interior. Now it has the very cool gold Carrera script down the side, as well as Porsche on the front nose, and the beautiful gold wheels as well. I am in love with this car. All right, next we're going to go away from the 911s, and we're going to go even older. We're going to go to the 1970 Porsche 914, but not just any 914. This is the one that had the 6-cylinder in it, the 914-6. Now the estimate on this one is $120 to $140, offered without reserve. Again, this could be a good deal, as number one condition valuation is $162,000. Now the latest 12 months, this is one of the Porsches that's been positive, up 4.5%. Now, again, this is single-family ownership prior to entering the white collection in 2018, so you would be the third owner. Very interesting that this the owner of the white collection was able to get a lot of original owner cars. Now, this was purchased new via Holbert's Porsche Audi of Warrenton, Pennsylvania. Period correspondence with storied endurance racer Al Holbert, powered by its numbers-matching 6-cylinder engine and gearbox. Finished in the beautiful, predominantly original factory colors of light ivory over black. These are really cool. They're still underappreciated. Typically, they do trade in the $100,000 to $150,000 range. And I've heard they're actually very wonderful drivers. All right, I am continuing to go backwards in time here. Next is a 1958 Porsche 356A 1600 Speedster. Now, the estimate on this one is $450,000 to $550,000. Offered without reserve. Now, from a valuation standpoint, number one condition is right there, $550,000 for the latest 12 months. These have been flat. Now, this is the 371st of just 552 examples produced during this iconic model's final year. U.S. specification car, initially delivered new to England, acquired by the White Collection in June of 2014. Now, this one retains its original numbers matching engine, gearbox, and factory correct ivory paintwork. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that it does have a black hardtop that looks really, really good on it. I'm really surprised by that. All right, so desirably fitted with US spec bumpers, glass par hardtop, sealed beam Marshall headlamps, and a lot of other cool stuff. So you got to check this car out. The Speedsters were originally the Econo version of the 356 for the US market, but because they were so much lighter, they actually were used for racing and were very, very successful. All right, next is a very special edition car. I love this car, and I could not find any valuation trends on it. 2010 Porsche 911 Sports Classic. So this is where they kind of make it look a little old school. This one has the duckbill spoiler in the back. Very, very cool. $600,000 to $800,000 estimate. Amongst the most desirable and hard to find models in the 997 family, combining exclusive retro-inspired design with nearly every factory performance option. The 116th of only 250 produced by Porsche exclusive, nicely specified with sports shifter, Bluetooth interface, and a fire extinguisher. Finished in original Sports Classic gray over an espresso leather interior. Good color combinations, but it is not white. Currently shows just over 1,100 miles. At the time of cataloging, just over 1,000 of those, which were accrued on a dynometer for emissions compliance purposes. Very, very cool. This one's been in the white collection since 2010. So it's like a light pastel gray. It actually has two slightly darker gray racing stripes, kind of like the 911R that came a few years later. All right, next we're going to the 80s and one of my favorite cars, the 1989 Porsche 911 Turbo Coupe. Now, this car has had the biggest gain over the last 12 months, going up in value 17.4%. Now, the estimate on this car is $350,000 to $450,000, offered without a reserve. From a valuation standpoint, number one condition, these are $290,000. So the estimate is quite a bit higher than current valuations, but there's a reason for that. This is an exceptionally original 930 turbo showing just under 5,000 miles. A very original car, equipped with its matching numbers engine and 1989 exclusive 5-speed transaxle, which is very, very desirable in these 930 turbos. It is clad in its original coat of Grand Prix white over mahogany partial leather interior, appealingly optioned with power adjust sports leather seats, sunroof, limited slip differential, and Porsche AMF and compact displayer with amplifier. This thing screams 1989. It is white. It does look gorgeous in white. This is one of the few cars, I would say, looks great in white, looks great in red, looks really bad in black, in my opinion. No offense out there. There's just so many cool black accent marks to these cars that once you get it in black, you can't see any of the accents. So I would love one of these in any color except black. Okay, now we're going back to where it all started for 911, 1965 911 Coupe. Now this one's estimate is $300,000 to $350,000, offered without reserve. Now, the valuation on these, number one condition, is $345,000, and they have been flat for the last 12 months. Now, this is a highly desirable early short wheelbase 911, powered by its numbers matching engine and gearbox, finished in its correct, attractive dolphin gray exterior over green leatherette interior. I do really like this color combination. If it wasn't for the green interior, I would not, but I love it. All right, odometer records just over 32,000 miles at the time of cataloging, carefully preserved and maintained, but never fully restored. Just a beautiful car, very first year, full production of the 911. There are so many great 911s in this collection that are on offer from RM Sotheby's, but this is one of my favorite newer cars, 2016 Porsche 911R. I just love the way they put this package together. So the estimate is $700,000 to $800,000. From a valuation standpoint, number one condition is $610,000, but this one is brand new. One of only 991 built, the ultimate modern driver's Porsche. Now for the last 12 months, these are flat, 0% increase or decrease. This one has single ownership and as delivered condition. Now get this, showing just 19.7 miles on the odometer, finished in paint to sample Grand Prix white over a yachting blue interior. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous car, gorgeous color combination. 500 horsepower, 4-liter, flat 6-cylinder engine, 6-speed manual transaxle, has almost $93,000 in desirable options, including front axle lift system, single mass flywheel, and reinforced clutch, sport chrono package, and extensive custom tailoring features throughout. The price was almost $300,000 when it was new. Okay, so what is the rarest car coming on offer to the white collection? This 1993 Porsche 911 Carrera RSR 3.8. This is the rarest one I saw. Estimates $2 to $2.5 million. Arguably the wildest 964 ever ordered by a Porsche VIP. A truly incredible car representing the physical actualization of special wishes. The last of 51 examples produced and the second of just 2 stress inversion RSRs built by Porsche Motorsport with a fully appointed leather interior. Delivered new to the UK in March of 1996, rediscovered in 2015, and currently shows just 43 miles since new, retains its original tires and number matching engine and gearbox. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, this interior is crazy. Finished in its factory original eye-catching color combination of Grand Prix white over can red and Grand Prix white leather upholstery. The red is everywhere except for a few little spots. This thing is just nuts. Desirably specified with over $29,000 of exclusive options, including twin ignition Le Mans spec engine, a 120-liter fuel cell, air jack system, passenger seat, locking rear differential, gold brake caliper, Speedline RS wheels painted in amethyst metallic. This is just a crazy, crazy, incredible, rare car. All right, so if you've had enough of the 911s, how about this one? 1987 Porsche 928 S4 on offer from the white collection, RM Sotheby's. The estimate is $100,000 to $140,000, offered without a reserve. Now, valuation, number one condition is $99,000, up 6.5% over the last 12 months. Now, this one is very low mileage, and it has a 5-speed gearbox. So let's hear a little bit more here. Factory original Grand Prix white over crimson leather interior, fitted with desirable 5-speed manual gearbox, limited slip differential, and sports shock absorbers. Under the care of the original owner for nearly 30 years. Just over 12,000 miles showing on the odometer. Very, very cool. This is quite the collector's item. If you're going to have a 928, this is the one you want. You want the S4, you want the 5-speed, and you want the low mileage. All right, before we get to our last Porsche, which is also the second highest appreciating Porsche in the last 12 months, I do have to call out two non-German cars. All right, the first one is this 1932 Ford Model 18 two-door coupe custom. The reason I bring this up is because this entire collection is spotless. It's the best of the best. And this one was restored by the restorer of said Porsches, or most of the Porsches in the collection. So it's high quality build. It's a beautiful medium metallic blue with blue and white interior. Just really, really cool. And most Porsche folks do not want a hot rod. And since, you know, everybody in the world who's a Porsche person knows about this sale, I don't know that a lot of the hot rodders do. The other one I would like to mention is this incredible pickup truck, 1940 Ford half-ton pickup custom. This thing is really, really cool. It's like a light pastel green with off-white tires. It's got, I believe it's a 350 engine in it. And it's got a great dark, almost like a chocolate interior, leather interior, automatic transmission, just restored to an incredible level. And this could be a great deal because I'm not sure offhand, but I bet they're no reserve. I bet the estimates are somewhere around $70,000 to $90,000. And wouldn't it be crazy if these sold for $40,000 or $50,000? So go check it out, rmsotheby's.com, the white collection. All right, let's get to our last car, the big car of the sale, and one that is super, super special. 2015 Porsche 918 Weissach Spyder, estimates $2.5 to $3 million. Now, valuation, number one condition is $2.25 million. So the estimate is significantly higher than what some of the valuations are, but this one is really, really special. So for the last 12 months, 918 Weissachs have gone up 15.4%. They're really bucking the trend of rest of the Porsches out there, as well as the entire collector car market overall, pretty much. Now, this is the crown jewel of the white collection, a breathtaking and entirely unique rendition of Porsche's modern hypercar. If you're watching online, I'm going to keep it on this interior for a while because it is beautiful. Custom specified by the consignor with over $96,000 of bespoke tailoring from Porsche exclusive manufacturer, as well as the desirable Weissach package. Finished in paint to sample Grand Prix white with color-matched magnesium wheels over full leather to sample yachting blue upholstery. It is just gorgeous. Delivered new to the white collection via Porsche of North Houston, currently indicates just 12 miles at the time of cataloging. This is probably one of the lowest mile 918 in existence. This is just amazing. The only 918 ever produced with this incredible specification, the original MSRP of just over $1 million. So this is the one to have of the entire collection. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to all of you next week.